welcome. In front of me is a Lenovo Tab M8, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look at the device itself. Now this is the 4th generation, so the newest one they have released in April 22nd of 2023. So let's get into the box. Now, similar to the previous versions of this device, these tablets are fairly bare bones. They don't have much in terms of specs, and its selling value is in the price, obviously. So these are absolutely like dirt cheap devices, coming at about $150. So it's basically at a low end price. Now inside, you get two different packages. So one will be the clear case, I assume. Yep, there we go. Now it has some additional paperwork inside. Okay, interestingly enough, we actually get screen protector, a cloth for it. Gives an instruction guide on how to apply the screen protector, and then the case itself below that. Okay, there's nothing inside. Okay, so here's the case. Now let's move over to the tablet itself. Now it is small enough to basically one-handed, at least like hold it comfortably like this, though using it one hand would be relatively difficult. Anyway, I'm gonna slap it right away into the case that it comes with. And there we go. And while it's booting up, let's also look at the rest of the accessories. So we get a charging cable. This will be type C to type A. We get a SIM eject tool, paperwork, and that looks like that's about it. Now in here we get a charger, and that charger is God knows what, because this is literally stuck onto it. Come on. Does it have any specs? Okay, so we are looking at a 10, okay, this probably won't be visible, but it's 10-watt charger. So there we go. Okay. And moving that out of the way, I can now take a look at the device a little bit better. So here's our tablet. It's a relatively small 8-inch display, so in reality it's basically as big as something like the Galaxy Fold when it's unfolded. So the screen right here isn't necessarily big, but it is a 16:9 aspect ratio, which makes it a little bit better than something like Galaxy Fold. It is an LCD IPS display with a resolution of 800 by 1280 pixels. So it actually puts it at 16:10 aspect ratio, not 16:9. Though I could bet that it is a 16:9. Maybe the bezels are throwing me off a little bit, because it makes it appear a little bit wider than should have probably. In any case, moving on. Internally, we have a Helio A22 processor, either 3 or 4 gigabytes of RAM with a 32 or 64 gigabyte built-in storage, depending on which RAM option you go for. So 32 goes with 3 gigs and 64 goes with 4 gigs. We also have an expandable storage built in here, hence why we get the little SIM eject tool. We have a 5100 mAh battery, which for the device this size, I would probably expect a little bit bigger battery than just like 5K. That's what most phones nowadays have. This is, as you can probably see, a little bit bigger than a phone. So anyway, moving on. Let's see what else is there to actually talk about. The software. So we are running Android 13, and that's probably all the worth mentioning info. Now, in terms of cameras, for anyone that is actually gonna care about this, there is two cameras, one at the front and one at the back, and the main camera, which will be, I assume, the back one, is the 5 megapixel sensor, or 8, depending on where you're buying it. I have no clue which one that is actually. And then at the front we got a 2 megapixel. Now, that being said, with the back one you can record at 1080p, and at the front you have 720p. So there we go, that's about all the info. Last thing that I'm going to mention is the price. I think I already did, but I'm going to just repeat it. This device comes at about 150 euros, so it is one of the cheaper tablets that you can possibly get on the market. That should still perform relatively well. One thing that I will mention or recommend is, if you're planning to pick this device up, I would recommend going for the 64 gigabyte version with 4 gigs of RAM. The additional storage, even though you have expendable storage, you might actually need it. Some devices, if you start running out of storage, there are applications that only can be put on the device itself, and won't let you move it to an SD card. It gets really annoying, so I recommend going for the bigger one. And additionally, the 1 gigabyte of additional RAM will also give you additional headroom, or not really a headroom, but just will allow you to swap between applications a little bit better, with them staying open for a little bit longer. So that's why I would recommend going for the higher end model. Anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.